Scripture tells us the daughter of Pharaoh found the baby among the reeds and lifted him out. Exodus 2 verse 10 of the King James Version Bible says, "And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. And she called his name Moses, and she said, Because I drew him out of the water." It is my humble opinion that there has been a universal misunderstanding of the meaning of this verse. It is assumed that the princess, Amos Meritamun, was explaining the interpretation of the name Moses as drawn from the water, or simply drawn out. I do not believe this was the case at all. I believe that this scripture offers a clue to history and identifies which Pharaonic family raised Moses. The princess told us the name. The name Moses was nothing short of a declaration of who saved him, the Amos family. Her father's name was Amos the First. So she said, "I will name him Moses because I, a member of the Amos family, drew him from the water." Moses from Amos. The names Amos and Tutmos continued on for several generations. 80 years later, in the Exodus year, we come to the reign of Hatshepsut and Tutmos III. Hatshepsut was a female who co-ruled for a while with Tutmos III because he was a child when he became pharaoh. She ruled with him for around 20 years, he taking power when he was old enough, and she continued co-ruling for a short time. Now it gets interesting. There is evidence that Tutmos III and Hatshepsut were both ruling when Moses appeared before Tutmos III. How do I come to this conclusion? Because of an inscription discovered in Egypt, a royal decree of Hatshepsut that says in part, "While I restored what had decayed, I annulled the former privileges of the Asiatics that were in the region of Avaris of Lower Egypt. And when I allowed the abomination of the gods to depart, the earth swallowed up their footsteps." This was the directive of the primeval father, Nun, the water god, who came one day unexpectedly. Looking closer at that inscription, it mentions cracking down on the Asiatics. The Hebrews were Asiatic. She calls them abominations of the gods. The Bible said that every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptians. She allowed them to leave, the Exodus, and that the water god came unexpectedly. She even said that the earth swallowed up their footprints because they got across the Red Sea and disappeared into the Sinai Desert. Keep in mind that Tutmos III was an adult and in power, but obviously he allowed Hatshepsut to retain much of the authority. One more interesting note. Tutmos III had a son who was the rightful heir to his throne, named Amenemhat, and he would have succeeded Tutmos III, but he died early. Could that have been the death of the firstborn? His brother Amenhotep II came to power instead, and it was Amenhotep's great-great-grandson, Akhenaten, who got rid of all of the gods in Egypt, believing in one god. He worshipped the Aten, the sun, and because of his belief in one god, Egyptians tried to erase him from history, labeling him the heretic king.